The position of the cluster, the centroid has been shifted, okay, based on the computation, based on averaging all the data points. Okay. Now, once again, the algorithm will start computing the distance of each data point to the new centroid. For example, it will measure, it will take data point 1, it will measure the distance between P1 to C1 and P1 to C2. Okay, so the distance will be measured. So if P1 is closer to C1, the point P1 will be retained in cluster A. Else, if point P1 is closer to C2, so the point P1 will be moved to cluster B. Okay. Similarly, P2. Okay. So the algorithm will take point P2. So it will measure the distance between P2 and C1 and P2 and C2. The same thing repeats. To whichever centroid the point P2 is closer, so there the point will be moved to that specific cluster. Okay, so in my example, you can see P2 is closer to C1, so it will remain in cluster A. Okay, so, but I think you can note a point P6, which was in cluster B, has moved to cluster A. Okay, in the second pass. Okay, so this is how the k-means clustering algorithm works. Okay. So continuing with the algorithm. So whatever was explained in theoretical lines now will be explored in the form of an algorithm with specific steps. Okay, before that, when the algorithm will stop, what is the stopping point of the algorithm? So the stopping point is if the centroid does not move to a new position. Okay, for example, you average all the data points and compute the position of the centroid, and the old centroid position and new centroid position is same. Okay, and in that case, the algorithm will stop. What does it mean? It means that the cluster has arranged itself appropriately, okay, with all points of cluster A being put in cluster A and all points that should have been in cluster B, so going and sitting in cluster B. So we call it as convergence. Okay. So clustering, convergence of cluster. We have a term for it. So once convergence happens, the cluster, the k-means clustering algorithm will stop. So this was the exact algorithm. As I already told you, we will start exploring it step by step. So step 1, so randomly pick k cluster center, so centroids. Okay, so as I already told you, depending on the value of k you are providing, so many number of centroids will be created in step 1. Okay, for example, if I give k equal to 2, 2 centroids will be created. The same we saw in the previous example. 2 centroids C1 and C2 were created. Why? Because I gave the value of k equal to 2. Okay. So depending on the value of k, so the centroids will be created. Okay. And as I already mentioned, it will be placed randomly. Okay, randomly in the first pass. Step 2, we saw what exactly is happening. Assign each data point to the closest centroid. Okay, by calculating the Euclidean distance. I gave an example. If you remember, I took point P1. Okay, so the distance of P1 was measured with the centroid C1 and C2. Okay, so the same has been indicated here. Distance between Ci, that is centroid. X here is the point. See what I had written as P1, P2, here is X. And when the distance computation is done, which one should be chosen? So you can see this minimum. Okay, meaning that you have taken a data point, for example P1, you have measured the distance of this data point P1 with the centroid C1 and C2. So which one should be taken into consideration? Which centroid should be taken and mapped to P1 or mapped with P1? So that is decided by the min that you can see, the minimum distance. So in step 2, so you can see the algorithm, k-means algorithm, is measuring the distance of each point with the centroids, and the minimum distance will be chosen, and the data point will be associated with that centroid. Okay. That was step 2. Similarly, the same is done for other points here. So, I mean, do not get confused here. X1, X2, X3 is nothing but P1, P2, P3 that I had explained in the previous instance. Okay. To just to maintain similarity with what is there in the textbook, I have used X1, X2, X3 in this instance. So after step 2, what would have happened? Okay, so all the data points would either belong to cluster A or cluster B, meaning that two clusters are created if k equal to 2, four clusters are created if k is equal to 4. So that is what is meant by k group. So in the first iteration, centroids are randomly placed, and based on the position of the centroids, the data points are correspondingly associated, and that much number of groups are created as explained. Now we are into step 3. We understood in step 1 centroids were randomly assigned. Okay. But starting from this step, we will determine the position of the centroid through computation, okay, not through random positioning. Okay. The same was explained if you remember. Now what is the new position of the centroid? Okay. So Ci is the centroid. So the new position of the centroid is equal to sigma xi by mi. Okay, so what is happening here in sigma xi? I have written, you can see some of the positions of all data points in the ith cluster. For example, if you are in cluster A, I will take all the data points in cluster A. For example, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 that I had explained previously. The same has been marked as X1, X2, X3, X4, X5 in this algorithm. Okay. So take all the data points x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5 divided by mi. What is mi? Mi is the number of objects in the cluster, in the ith cluster. Ith here is cluster A, cluster B. In my example, mi will be 5 because it is P1 to P5. So 5 data points are there. So P1 plus P2 plus P3 to P5 divided by 5 will give you the new position of the centroid. So that is what is happening in step 3. Okay. So step 3 is giving us the new position of the centroid, but not randomly choosing the position. It is helping us determine the position of the centroid through computation. And what happens in step 4? We understood in step 4, we once again repeat step 2 and 3, meaning that after computing the new position of the centroid, we once again take each and every data point, measure the distance of the data point with the new centroid positions, and to whichever centroid it is near, it will move to across that corresponding cluster. Okay, for example, so once again we took data point P1, if you remember. Once again here we took data point P1. Okay, we compared it with C1. C1 was the new position, please note. Previously C1 was here, somewhere here. So we measured the distance of P1 to C1 at this point, and once again to C2. Okay, this is what is happening in step 4. So shortest distance will be chosen, and point P1 will be put into that corresponding cluster. Okay. So that this keeps on repeating. But if this keeps on repeating, the algorithm will enter into an infinite loop. There should be some stopping criteria for the algorithm. What is the stopping criteria? Okay, stopping criteria is after you complete determining to which cluster a point should belong, once again you will recompute the new position of the centroid. We understood that. So once you compute a new position of a centroid, and if the new position and say old position are same, for example, now this was the status of the algorithm in pass 2. Okay. Now you recomputed the position of C1. and C1 is once again coming and sitting here only. Okay. C1 is getting placed here itself, meaning that the old position of C1 and new position of C1 is same. The position of the centroid is not changing, and in that case the algorithm will understand I need to stop at this point because the algorithm has converged. Okay. Meaning that the cluster has become stable, or to put it in other words, it means each and every data point has been correctly placed in appropriate cluster. So we even call it as convergence. Already I explained it. This will be a final cluster, final group. So thank you for your listening. So in this discussion, we understood how clustering can be done using the k-means algorithm. So here k is the number of clusters. We saw the technique, we saw the mechanism. We understood it in general theoretical principle. We also explored it more systematically in the algorithmic form, in the form of steps. So, so thank you for your listening.